I haven't noticed there was something odd in the black family structure. Like something's off. What I mean by that is you got certain families where the mom and the dad they're together, but the dad's just completely shut down. Ever seen that? Or the family where, they're completely mellow. You never really see an alpha dad around in most families. You do. Some of them you do, but you don't necessarily see any alpha dads truly leading the family and the family is following them around. What you do see, you see a matriarch, whether she's from the States or from relatives. When she come around, the whole family comes into check and they all come rank and file. I seen that a lot, but you never notice that for the dad. Ever notice that? See, the reason why I'm bringing this up is, see, the late Kevin Samuels, he's been doing something very, very meaningful for the black community, and he's been trying to put the black man back in the pedestal he should be on. But there's a pushback. You see it from the sisters, you see it from the mothers, the aunties. You see all women are in reaction with Kevin Samuels, even when he was around. Till this day. Some women get it, yeah, but they're not the majority. What you see, what you notice is a major pushback. What I understand is that some brothers, or the majority of brothers, are starting to get it and are starting to understand that the black woman is actually against him. Whether it's your mom, auntie, grandma, it doesn't matter. Name it. Cousin. See, it's like this weird phenomenon, and I've been thinking about it. I've been digging, scratching my head around that, and trying to wrap my head around the phenomenon. And I started to understand something. See, the black sister, in general, has been bred to dominate and to be on top of the black family. I'm talking about hierarchy. It wasn't always that way. But the pushback that I've been noticing from sisters, from the black females, is something that that goes a lot deeper than just, oh, the man's not around, I'm taking its place. No, we're talking way past that. We're talking way past the fact that fathers weren't around, or they chose deadbeat dads, and no. We're going way beyond. And I'm thinking about making some videos to expose that fact, because I see guys just going overseas and getting themselves some. Well, you see, there's a real issue going on, and it's becoming more and more relevant every time I walk around with my girlfriend. And you see my girlfriend ain't black, by the way. So when the sisters look at my girl, and they have that snarl, and they keep looking at us up and down, and you're like, why is it so generalized? I noticed a pushback from women towards men. And I'm talking, this message is actually for for the black public in general. This doesn't concern the white culture. It doesn't really concern even maybe a little bit of Latino, but you know what? I'm black, so I'll address the black people right now. So from what I've understood, the late Kevin Samuels tried to rebuild the family structure the way it should have been, the way it always should have been. The black man on top, the woman second, being supportive to him, and etc., etc. What I've noticed that men are waking up to that fact. You see you see passport brothers being a real thing now, because the women in the West are not getting it. Some women do. Some women are actually talking and trying to bring sense to the matter, but for the majority of them, most women don't get it. They're still pushing back, and there's a major pushback. And I've noticed the tendency is so strong, in fact. Hey, I don't need to tell you. If this video came to you for some reason, I think that you need to hear this. This is probably a message that you need to hear, because what I have to say is actually so, I'm going to say controversial, because I don't hear enough people talking about it. It's not even an issue that I hear anybody speak about, because everybody talks about the social construct of the family. I see the psychological aspect of the family. Not a lot of traditional. And when I mean by traditional, I understand it. I get it. People are saying, we lost our culture, this and that and the third, but it's right in our faces. There's something quite evil that installed itself in the black structural family, that is eating the family from the inside out. And this is what this video is about. It's to expose that evil. It's to expose the fact that I'm not saying black women are evil. This is not what I'm saying. Hear me out. This is not what I'm saying. But there is something detrimental to the family structure that is pushing back to the natural order of things in the black structural family. That's what I'm exposing. I'm talking about family control, incestual control. I'm talking about a matriarchal control that is passed down from the matriarch to the next generation. Every generation has its matriarch, and the matriarch only passes down the torch to the next one, whether she's from the family or from outside. But one thing I do know is that this is a prevalent factor in the black family. I'll talk about my own family. I'll talk about my own experience. I don't care. I'm not attacking anyone, but I'm explicitly speaking to the black men so that you can be aware there's something going on. There's a reason why you feel so subjugated by your mom. There's a reason why you feel so subjugated by the values, the dinners, the dinners that seems like sacred, like stone. And for some reason, if you don't go to them dinners, you are looked at as an outcast. There's a reason for those structures, and those structures reinforce something very, 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 I should say, extremely valuable to them for that control. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think I'm going to do a series of videos because there's so many aspects and topics for me to talk about. So many of them. And I'll talk from personal experience, so nobody can feel harmed or the snowflakes of this generation can't handle it. So I'm going to talk about me so they can't come back to me, right? But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that because some of us are not only are, most of us are still asleep. There's something that is removing our ability to take the lead in our own family structures. And that very thing is passed down through voodoo. Oh yeah, I said it, voodoo. Straight up. All right, part 2. So let me go. I'll go straight into it, man, because this subject is deep. I remember growing up, I was a virgin. I remained a virgin for the longest time. And I remember vividly there were instances in my own family, whether it was cousins or cousins from the States coming over, because I live in Canada. So the cousins will come around and they would holler at me as if, man, I was a piece of meat. But I was a virgin, mind you. I was a virgin. I didn't understand why it was happening, but I knew that past a certain age, and I'm talking about 12, 13, 14, around that age gap, I was starting to blossom. I started looking like a man more and more. Yeah, I had cousins, man, trying to hit me up. At first, I was like, yeah, whatever. One instance, Fritz, it's fine. Cats, take it easy. It's fine. But then another, and then another, and then another. Look, I stayed a virgin till 19. So let me tell you, I had at least 5 years of instances where I could vouch. Shit could have gone down. And what's the common denominator? They were all women. They were all women from the family. From one instance, from one side to another, either from my dad's side or from my mom's side. That's fucked up, but still, that's the truth. But what's the reason behind me saying this? There was a reason behind this instance happening. I think, and this is just conjecture, right? I'm just thinking out loud here while doing this video, but I think that when you're a virgin, if anything happens with one of your same blood, there is a structural control that installs itself in your psyche. What I mean by that is that it's not something that's necessarily going to happen over and over. What it means is the moment I lose my virginity to one of my own blood, I know it sounds really messed up. It sounds messed up. I'm talking about it as if it was, it's complete normal. But man, hear me out. All right, hear me out. This is, I told you that the subjects would be shocking, or maybe I didn't. But you know what? Hey, you clicked on the video, so it is what it is, man. But back to the topic at hand. I sincerely believe that this is not something that just happened to me, first of all. I'm almost 100% sure that instances like that has happened to multiple dudes in their own families, and they keep quiet about it. It's it happened, shut up about it, don't talk about it. It's between you and the person. That's it. Nobody needs to know. Or if it gets found out, everybody keeps a hush on it. I think things like that happen a lot more than we care to admit. And as a matter of fact, it happens so often, I think it's an actual practice. But the practice isn't necessarily, it isn't necessarily voluntary. It is subconscious ordering. Hear me out. It's a subconscious order to reinforce the structure so that there's a control kept on the individual being me or the guy, the male. So when you're young and you're virgin and you exude that testosterone and they pick it up, they said, okay, he's ready. They send someone who finds you, whatever. It could be anything. It could be a cousin. It could be an auntie. It could be, look, I'm not going to lie. I had auntie. I had cousin. I had stepsister. I had faraway cousins. The whole 9 yards, man. Come up to me in that regards. And I do believe that it was definitely purposeful. On to the next subject.